Hey guys, back in another video, and I want to make this video specifically featured around the women's division. I'll say, and this is both for superstars that are no longer with the company through probably bullshit funding for Eva Stupid Marie. Okay, I'll make this point first. It's the character I have the problem with. I'm positive outside of the ring, Eva Marie is a nice person. I'm positive she's a very nice person, easily to get along with. But the fact that Sherry and that stupid evolution crap is probably one of the reasons, money-wise, that they release so much talent is because of her. That's not her fault. It's the thing with Eva is, and I'm positive she's been training. I'm positive that after she was first released, she's been working on her in-ring talent. The thing is, because of who she has the reputation of in the business, we probably will never see it, because when it comes to Eva Marie, we know how she is in the ring. Not a wrestler! She's an actress that first got here because of Total Divas! So, I don't blame I don't blame the woman Eva Marie, I blame the character. Since I can't call her a wrestler, I can't call her talent. The character of Eva Marie. Moving on to her, something else I have now a problem with, and I pray that this problem's already been fixed and dealt with. Piper Niven on Raw. First off, the disrespect last week with the commentators not even knowing who Piper Niven was. I know that that's a script and they're told not to. The thing was they didn't know her, but the fact that they wrote that they didn't know who a woman, or the woman that was probably the number one ranked and number one contender for basically half of 2020 with the NXT UK Women's Championship at the time of Kaylee Ray. I don't get it. Even if they were going to do a name change, or just didn't keep her as Piper Niven, why not go to the names she had? Actually, I do know why, because you're not that bright, and didn't want to give tribute to other companies. Why not call her Viper? That's what the name she had back in WCPW in England. Or Europe, I should just say. No. And I swear, I pray that this name is now dealt with. It's done, because this team looks like it's already dead. Doudrop. I thought it was D-E-W drop. No, the way it was spelled, D-O-U-D-R-O-P. What the fuck kind of name is that?! Get it? 'Cause she wears blue? Again, I pray that this problem has already been taken care of, since it looks like Piper Niven has already separated from Eva Marie. So good luck with Eva Marie for her future 5 weeks, probably. So the question now is, if Piper Niven has left Eva Marie, what left is there for her to do? She lost the qualifying match to to Naomi and Asuka, who coincidentally both share a tag team with Lana, who I would much rather see in the ring than Eva Marie. Lana at least improved over time. Another woman I would love to see improve and get a push, not on Raw but on SmackDown, is this woman right here. Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan is probably my modern day favorite women's wrestler. On SmackDown, I'll say. Like, that leaves it up to anything. Definitely that with Bianca, since I love Bianca Belair. Actually, just saying that, that's another thing. How long did people want Bianca Belair to win the title? Since she came on to SmackDown. Because we knew what we were going to expect. Cue the past month, I'll say, People now want Bayley to be champion again. It's so impressive how fans will jump on a bandwagon and immediately jump off a bandwagon so fast. It's insane. It's ridiculous how fast the fans have already turned on the reign of the EST. Then there's the... To be fair, I don't have the belts that I'm going to talk about. We'll talk about them because of these. I want to talk about these. The women's tag team titles. I say that ever since the women's tag team titles have been introduced, I'll admit the titles had a problem when they first came. Because the tag team division, well, it was a moderately stable division. It had a good amount of tag teams. It was the tag team division of the women's division was still trying to find its niche. And even today, it's a lot harder because there's so few tag teams because you release a half of two tag teams. The Ravishing Glow and the Riot Squad. Again, I don't know why they would fire Lana and Ruby Riot, especially Ruby Riot. I don't get it. That is a tag team that fans wanted to see win the belts. The Riot Squad. I don't know. Anyway, the tag team titles of the women's division definitely had a hard time really getting their identity found. It's the same thing I've said of the women's division for just a second here. It's the same thing I've said with people who whine about like AEW and stuff like that. And I've said this before in previous videos. AEW is barely in its run or in its lifespan. AEW is barely over a year old, I believe. They've celebrated their 1 year anniversary. I think that's when Cody lost the TNT title. He defended the TNT title. I don't know, but you gotta remember, people. WWE has been around since what can be known as the territory days, where every kind of region, the Southwest, the Midwest, the Northeast, every area kind of had its own regional wrestling promotion. From the NWA to the AWA to just stuff like Georgia Championship Wrestling, WCCW, WWF. Like I said, the NWA, the AWA, all that kind of stuff. That was territory stuff. So WWE definitely has the advantage. In Monday Night Raw itself, debuted in 1995, and SmackDown debuted in 1999. And the NXT that we all know and love, the one that actually has competition, not just some stupid game show, debuted in 2012, I believe. So yeah, AEW is a very young company. And even Impact, that debuted in 2002. Ring of Honor debuting in, I believe, around the same time, 2002, somewhere around that era, 2005, around there. So AEW, it's definitely a young company. There's, in my opinion, even a year in, they're still looking for what sticks, what really hooks the fans. And they found it, in my opinion, especially with the Inner Circle, the Pinnacle rivalry. With the Elite running roughshod over both the tag team and the singles divisions with the Young Bucks, the Good Brothers, and Omega. And now the former executive vice president, or whatever the fuck his title was, Don Callis, running roughshod, no longer running roughshod over Impact Wrestling. So maybe we'll see less of AEW. Maybe we'll see less of the Elite in Impact Wrestling, mainly Don Callis on the microphone. That's a problem I can't make. But yeah, AEW, while it has made definitely interesting decisions. I can't think of any off the top of my head since... I definitely will say this. AEW is not a perfect company. It has made mistakes, but just because But the thing is, I choose... Even when I complain about this stuff, most of my wrestling videos are me saying what's wrong with the company, what's weird, what they did wrong, what they did stupidly, what they're... Like right now, a lot. When I get back to the women's division, which I promise I will get back to. We talk about the bad stuff because that's what's easiest to talk about. But with sometimes you have to focus on what's positive. Even when I don't like his attitude, Kenny Omega is a great talent in AEW. He rarely has a bad match. Same with his number one contender. Maybe that's something that people don't like. The number one contender for the world championship, Jungle Boy, who is the workhorse for this company. He's had more matches in AEW than anyone. I don't know. Anyway, enough of that. AEW is a good company. Just give it some freaking time. It's not going to be on WWE's level like that.
You need to stop doing YouTube and start doing a podcast.
Anyway, back to the women's division. The match that just, aside from the Piper Niven Doudrop event that got me mad, was the Money in the Bank qualifying tag team match for the women's division. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, former two-time tag team champions, versus also former two-time tag team champions, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Remember when Nikki Cross was a chaos enthusiast who loved the insanity, who was a member of Sanity, who was our twisted sister in NXT, a woman who was batshit crazy. And then even when it turned out to the main roster, they did kind of take away the twisted, but they still made her crazy. They made her champion with Alexa Bliss. They found a niche. And even when people thought that Alexa Bliss was just using Nikki Cross to get back to the women's title, they proved them wrong with Nikki Cross and Alexa and Nikki, in my opinion, being the first working tag team champions in the women's division. Because let's think about this for a second. The tag team champions up to Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss were two. The Boston Hug Connection, which it was a feel-good moment to see Sasha Banks and Bayley win these tag team titles, but they didn't really do anything with them. They defended them, yes, but main story, and I don't forgive that because it was the first reign, it was the first tag team champions. But then came the Iconics at WrestleMania 2019. I know the fans love them. I know the fans love the Iconics. And the thing is, I have two things with the Iconics. Both Billy, I can't say her name for some reason. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, there it is. For some reason I say Peyton first. They're both very talented competitors. And I'm hoping that both Billy and Peyton find major success outside of the WWE. Maybe they'll go to Impact Wrestling. Maybe they'll go to AEW. Who knows? I cannot deny their in-ring ability, but when it came to their promos, they're good. They were good talkers. They were, but every time they talked, it made my ears bleed. It was nothing against the Australian accent. It's just that high pitch that they had, man. And then when they were the tag team champions, those were just accessories for them. Name any match where they defended the titles. They never defended the belts. Even with the tag team that was brought up when we thought they were going to take the titles. The Kabuki Wars, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Best luck to... I know it's been 2 years. I know she quit WWE in 2020, but I still wish Kairi Sane the best of luck. Set sails to hopefully an AEW women's run. Even if it's just short-lived. I don't know. Just, I'd be like to Kairi Sane. I cannot... Until they lost the belts to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, I, for the life of me, cannot remember a title match that had the Iconics as defending champions. I, for the life of me, cannot remember. But aside from that, back to the actual match, we have Baszler, who just came off a loss at Hell in a Cell to Alexa Bliss, who's been doing this pedant stare thing. I did a video on it yesterday. Or as I call Alexa Bliss, the Papa Fiend Shango. And Nikki Cross is new attire. Mighty Molly Holly version 2. I mean, for God's sake, what did they do? I pray this was Nikki's idea, because that's the only leniency I could give it if it was Nikki's idea to do this costume, I'll just say. Anyone who knew people know Molly Holly in the Hall of Fame. But if you know her as Mighty Molly Holly when she was the Hurricane sidekick, you already can get an idea of what you can idea. Just imagine this. Imagine Molly Holly, but instead of pink and black, think light blue and yellow, and a butterfly, both in the chest, in a stupid mask. I don't know, man. And I get it, they've been pushing Nikki Cross, which is something fans have been wanting, but the thing, in spoiler alert, Alexa and Nikki won, kind of proving that they still have that tag team chemistry from when they were 2-time tag team champions. But the thing is, with them pushing Nikki Cross, that's great. Again, something fans have been wanting. But the win she's getting, she's winning by beat the clock challenge and count out. This is the first match in like 5 weeks or something. However long this push of Nikki Cross has been going. This is the first pinfall victory she's gained. And I know a win's a win in professional wrestling. But when you look at the endings of her matches of the past few weeks, it's been time's up in a beat the clock challenge against both Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, and I think just last week, well, actually, the pinfalls. Actually, thinking about it, just now, the pinfall wins are only coming in tag team matches. In all her singles matches so far since she's getting this little push, it's been wins via the beat the clock timeout and a count out over Charlotte, I think last week. I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous to me. Jesus. Let me think. Other stuff I want to talk about with the women's division. The return of Io Shirai, who I'm guessing is going to be an attack. I'm just predicting this. I'm not sure if NXT's made this official, but I'm guessing either in a few weeks' time or at the next takeover, we might see a women's tag team title match an NXT women's tag team title match between The Way, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell versus Io Shirai and Zoe Starks, who, in my opinion, has been one of the best new faces to NXT's women's division. Zoe Starks has been such an impressive freaking talent, man. To her little feud or best of 3 matches with Toni Storm, where those matches with Toni, where Zoe won the matches or lost the matches, those matches with Toni proved how good a competitor Zoe Starks is. Because Toni Storm is even as a heel, especially as a heel, since giving her his new attitude and stuff, Toni Storm is a top tier talent in the NXT women's division, being a former NXT UK women's champion. Being the second champion in the NXT UK division. The feud with Toni showed how great a competitor Zoe Starks is. In tag team competition, it shows how much of a good tag team competitor she is. Because I say this as a joke, but it's also kind of true. She's matched so well with the 2 Japanese talents in NXT. I say that because if you look at Zoe Stark's tag team matches past in history in NXT, the tag partners of her have been Io Shirai and another new face in NXT's women's division. I know she's been here for a while, a little bit, but still kind of new. Sarray. And it did take me a while, I'll admit, to get used to saying that name because it's such a weird name. But the Warrior of the Sun, that is. I'm now thinking of them forming like a trio or something. Zoe Starks, the Genius of the Sky, Io Shirai, and the Warrior of the Sun, Sarray. I don't know, maybe we will get a NXT tag team title match between The Way, Zoe Starks, and Io Shirai. I don't know. Welcome I am hoping for it since it's going to be such a good match because Io Shirai is a woman who ever since becoming that, when going to that heel persona and transforming it into this, who she is today, ever since that heel turn, which worked out so great for her, by the way, she's become one of the best talents in the NXT Women's Division. She never has a bad match, in my opinion. And when she does, you can overlook little things because of how good the match was. Candice LeRae, we all know how I feel about The Way. They're idiots. The only interesting thing with The Way is the freaking index crap that they have going on. I don't know if they're gonna break that up or if Indy's gonna leave The Way in to be with Dexter Lumis, or if she's now over Dexter, or they're gonna be over Dexter Lumis because of Poppy being in NXT again, the woman who sings a lot of NXT's soundtracks and stuff like that. I don't know. Let me think. What else can I talk about? What else has been on my mind with the women's division? Oh yeah, this is just a personal thing. The entrance of Carmella. Carmella is a diva in the women's division. No disrespect. This is never disrespect to the women themselves, but it's just me being a fan, giving my opinion on this. This is actually my longest video of past while, man. I'm actually noticing at 20, about to be 22 minutes I've been recording. It's because I have so much, I have so many opinions, and I just love talking. I love talking. Because actually, it's not talking, I love venting, kinda. I don't know. Shutting up to get back on topic. Where was my topic going? I talked about Poppy and her being the singer who... What the okay, let me think. Just let me get back to this thing. Is there anything else in the women's division I want to talk about? Aside from the lack of women's division on SmackDown. Because legitimately, let's think about this. Bianca, Bayley, I'm legitimately thinking of this right now. Oh, it was Carmella. It was Carmella that I was talking about. My bad. Sidetrack. Because I was thinking of that. I love that it took me a minute to think of where I had to get back to. Okay. It's just that it's simple. Carmella, and I said this already, but it's just simplified. Carmella is a diva living in the women's division. I don't know why they have this thing with Carmella with being a diva in a women's division. I don't know, man. Again, personal thing, nothing against the wrestlers, blah blah blah. At the moment, there's nothing. Actually, there is one more thing I want to talk about. That's this feud that's been going on between Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, and Natalya and Tamina Snuka. This is probably the best feud for the women's tag team titles, because I don't think there's ever really been a feud for the tag team titles. It's always just been transitional contenders. There's never been actually thinking about it, the only other feud I can think of that it lasted a decent amount of time, but never that long to really impact anything. It was It was Nia and Shayna, and coincidentally, Dana and Mandy. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose definitely are probably a tag team I would like to see tag team champions one day. And it shines me that they're now heels, but also it doesn't, because both Dana and Mandy can play good heels. And with Mandy no longer to be Golden Goddess crap, because, again, I didn't like that gimmick. Personal things, you know the drill. And both with the face turn of being Otis's girl, and just a thing, actually, Why did they trade? Why did they draft Mandy to Raw aside to be Dana's tag partner? Why not bring Dana over to SmackDown? All right, because you people constantly bitch about Naomi's losing matches. Let me make this, since I'm now on this. I remember when Dana Brooke was the most talked about woman to push. People wanted Dana Brooke to be pushed because people said that she was incredibly talented. She got pushed. But people were pissed because it was at the expense of Naomi. What's a bigger push than getting an underdog to be one of the bigger talents in the company? Naomi is a former three-time women's champion? I think 2-time, actually. Whatever. So having Dana pick up wins against her is a good thing. And with the Piper Niven thing last week, let's be honest. Let's just say this: divisions need the putover talent. Naomi can be both. She's both the contender talent and the putover talent. Putover talent, what I call them, are the wrestlers that are there to help put over someone who's either debuting or returning. A good example of a putover talent would be Aiden English before Rusev Day, when Aiden English was in a singles run. He didn't get any wins, but he was getting good matches. Another one, I guess you could say, to put over talent is Ty Dillinger, back when he was Ty Dillinger, not Sean Spears. Dillinger, while he did get wins, he also helped put over the opponent when he lost. Naomi helped put over Piper Niven just last week, and look what happened this week, people. She got the win in a tag match against Piper Niven and Eva Marie. Anyway, Jesus Christ. I keep finding new things to talk about because I love talking about wrestling because there's always so much stuff to talk about. Actually, before I end this, and I don't know how many times I've said actually, let's keep talking. There's one last thing before I turn this off. And that's something I would like to see Alexa Bliss do as this character. That a lot of people say doesn't work anymore. And I partially agree. Alexa Bliss worked because of The Fiend, because of Bray Wyatt, because this character of this jubilant, happy person transforming into someone dark and disturbing worked because of who she was working with. Someone dark and disturbing and had double personality. If you can... It worked. Her being by herself, it was hard to make it work. The one good thing about this now, about Alexa Bliss's solo demonic run, is that she no longer is using the Firefly Funhouse remix music. She has her own singles run theme song, which works great. The thing I want to see this Bliss do is fix Nikki Cross. And I know people might say, but this... And I know I talked about Nikki Cross at the beginning. Nikki Cross's best run is as her twisted self. As WWE's twisted sister. That's what brought her success. That's what brought her streaming for both the 2-run tag team titles. Because even if she wasn't completely chaotic as she was in Sanity, she was still Twisted Sister Nikki Cross. And in NXT, her feud with Shayna Baszler. Remember that? When both Nikki Cross and Shayna Baszler, who was NXT champion in the women's division, was a good feud because it was Nikki's insanity and her chaos versus Shayna Baszler's fear-inducing dominance of the MMA style in wrestling. I don't know, man. Anyway, that does it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you bared with me on this. Near half-hour excursion. God, when is the... Literally, Please, what is the last video I made that is going to be 30 minutes long? It's crazy. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Bye.